The challenges are there. I inherited it.
Following Tinubu's statement in Aso Rock when Catholic bishops visited him, pleading with him to ensure a free and fair election in 2027, he said that hunger existed in Nigeria before he was born, that he can't control the population explosion of Nigeria, and that the church should help their members if they are hungry. Peter Obi has reacted to that statement, and for those who still find it unbelievable that Tinubu could say this, let's hear what he said, and after that we'll hear what Peter Obi said.
Yes. Before I was born, there was hunger in this country. And I have no control of the population development of Nigeria, trajectory. And that is why you have membership in your various faiths and churches, to give hope to people and give commitment to humanity and the true sense of it.
Writing on his verified X handle, Peter Obi said, "Hunger and the insensitivity of Mr. President. I watched with deep concern the statement made by President Bola Tinubu to the Catholic bishops who visited his office that there has always been hunger in Nigeria even before he was born. While it is true that hunger has been a part of human life and has existed in our country for decades, such a statement appears insensitive to the plight of the millions of Nigerians who face worsening economic hardship today. More importantly, we must focus on the facts and the measurable outcomes of governance. Before the present administration assumed office in 2023, an estimated 17 million Nigerians were facing acute food insecurity, primarily caused by insecurity, armed conflict, widespread banditry, and devastating floods. Today, less than 3 years later, that number has risen to about 35 million Nigerians. Instead of improving the situation, the crisis has worsened significantly under the current administration. The same trend is evident in poverty. Before this government took office in 2023, Nigeria's extreme poverty was estimated at 87 million people. Current projections suggest that this number is approaching 140 million people, making Nigeria home to the largest population of people living in extreme poverty anywhere in the world. No one disputes that this administration inherited serious challenges. However, leadership is measured not by the challenges inherited, but by the results achieved. The government must honestly acknowledge that its response has fallen far short of what the situation demanded, with millions more Nigerians pushed deeper into poverty and hunger. The combination of persistent insecurity, poor economic management, fiscal indiscipline, wasteful public expenditure, and inadequate investment in productive sectors has compounded the suffering of ordinary Nigerians. A responsible government must prioritize investment in education, healthcare, agriculture, security, and small businesses while pursuing policies that create jobs, expand production, and lift people out of poverty. That remains my commitment to the Nigerian people. A new Nigeria is possible, P.O.
You need to help us communicate to these governors. Today the economy of operation is high, and they should do more to, instead of fly over where there's no numeric traffic, build the roads and arteries network to really enhance the quality of life and the accessibility of the security agencies to penetrate those areas.
Coming from a man who plunged millions into poverty, he's blaming everyone except himself. It is now the turn of governors. Can he take his own advice? He's blaming the governors for building flyovers in their states. Why is Tinubu building the coastal road that is going to cost Nigeria 15 trillion naira? That's at the last count. We haven't added inflation. When inflation is added, by the time the job will be completed, and going by how far they have gone at this time, they haven't built up to 10% of the road. So if 10% takes about 3.5 years or 4 years to construct, if you do the math, that means the job will take them about 40 years to complete, going at this same pace. So when you calculate inflation over that period of 40 years, the road might end up costing Nigeria up to 20 trillion or more. So for a country that has many federal roads that are dilapidated or motorable, like this one, Benin or a highway, where everywhere is flooded, causing massive traffic for commuters, they can't build all these ones. They are focusing on the coastal road to nowhere. So the same way he's focusing on legacy projects that will bear his name after he has left power. They couldn't even wait for him to leave power. They already named the coastal road to his name. So the governors are doing exactly the same thing. They don't want to maintain existing roads. They are building new ones and flyovers so as to have their names etched on them, so that in future Nigerians will turn back and say, okay, this governor built so flyover, this one built so bridge. That's not governance. Not that infrastructural projects are not nice, that they don't help to turn around the fortunes of Nigerians. They are actually very important. But while they are doing this, they cannot abandon existing infrastructure. Government is a continuum. If you meet existing projects when you come to power, you must finish all the projects before starting new ones. Nigerians don't get their money's worth when these projects are abandoned. It's like a waste of money. You abandon a project, all the money committed to the project cannot be recovered because it is wasting away. At the time you get back to that project, maybe it will need to be demolished. So the money is wasted. This culture of waste among Nigerian politicians is very condemnable. If it were to be their money, their personal money that they labored hard to make, they will not waste it the way they waste Nigerian people's money. It's still very important to talk about this. Maybe some Nigerians are tired about hearing it. Some have heard it before. They think it's enough. No. Nigerians need to continue hammering on this. This is the biggest scandal under this administration. Do you know how many students, how many young pupils that trek to school because their parents can no longer afford transport fares to their schools? Do you know the kind of suffering Nigerians have been subjected to because of the so-called petrol subsidy removal? So it should concern you that despite being told that petrol subsidy has been removed, NNPC continues to pay for the subsidy. As recent as last year and 2023, they spent a total of more than 11 trillion naira for petroleum subsidy, despite the fact that Nigerians have been paying over 1,000 naira for petrol. So when you look at it, it is very, very wicked. This 11 trillion was the amount Muhammadu Buhari spent the entire 8 years paying for petrol subsidy. That subsidy kept the price of petrol below 200 naira per litre. Under this administration, Nigerians have been paying more than 1,000 naira per litre. And NNPC continues to deduct subsidy payments. So where is the money going to? This is wickedness of the highest order. They told us they will invest the subsidy money to productive areas, but they have been deducting it. They can't point to where the money is going to. The last time they said they are sharing the money through FAC. That's why governors and local governments have been receiving increased federal allocations since then. Now they are saying that they are investing it in NEL fund, which is a loan to students. Mind you, Nigerian students didn't need a loan before these people came to power, but they have created a problem and created inflation. Now Nigerians can no longer pay for the school fees. They have to turn around and start lending them money to pay for their school fees. So it doesn't make any sense. This wasn't what they told Nigerians. They said they will invest it in productive areas. They are now squandering the entire money. They can't point where exactly they are spending the money. Let's hear the finance minister smiling and trying to explain where they are spending the subsidy money.
There was a question about the subsidy savings. Where has it gone to? I've heard this question so many times. And guess what? It's a valid question. Before the reforms, we were printing money to spend. Interest rates was about 8%. Minimum wage was 30,000 naira. If you just think about those three, those are big numbers. If you stop printing, the spending doesn't disappear. You need to finance the money you were printing before. That was part of where the savings went. Because the reforms induce higher prices, interest rates went up. So instead of paying 8% on our debt, we're paying as high as 24%. When you need to service debt, you don't debate it whether you need to pay. You can't negotiate it. You pay, and you pay on time. Minimum wage went up from 30,000 naira to 70,000 naira. That's almost double the wage bill of the government. In addition to other important spending, like the NEL fund, where over 1.5 million students receive not only their tuition, but stipend on a monthly basis. And if you think that's not important enough, what it actually means is that about over 1 million households, the parents no longer have to save, borrow, and be stressed just to pay the tuition. Now they can deploy that resources into their small businesses and to take care of other important basic needs. So this is significant. So what we need to do is we'll provide a detailed explanation of how much we saved and how the money has been spent.
Peter Obi condemn Tinubu mocking Nigeria with hunger statement. You understand? So now let's say so all those church, all those people, all those leaders for sure, all those people they control church, they go visit Tinubu. You understand? So as in, he could explain to them the situation of the country. So he say, me they try, me they see the heavy government with their little way, you understand? So now I got to say he inherit this he inherit from the past government, you understand? You know, say nothing now. Peter Obi talk say now every time you inherit. Okay, what be your achievement? Because it's when you enter power. At least you inherit, at least as you inherit, so you need to find solution. You understand? Nigeria is living in abject poverty today. You understand? Whereby people cannot afford common transportation. Sorry to use that word, not be common. Whereby people cannot afford transportation. You understand? Okay, people don't feel afford transportation. Okay. What of a food? You understand? Inflation, it does skyrocketed. They come and you shame. You know the shame. You say you editor for the past government. Well, Nigeria, we have a long way to go. Please help me to share also to follow me for more updates. One of you, boy.